Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to make this Father's Day cake. So first, I'm going to start by melting the candy melts, and this is in the color light blue. Then I'm going to add it to this square mold that I got off of Amazon. Now I'm going to make sure that the chocolate is coated on all sides of this mold. And I wanted to make sure that I had enough chocolate on the bottom so that the cake did not go through. Now I'm just patting the mold on the counter, make sure I get all the air bubbles out. Now I'm going to cut the cake to make sure that it fits in the mold, and this is an Oreo cake. I did put the mold in the freezer to set the chocolate. Now I'm going to take it out the freezer and start adding the cake into the mold. This is optional, but you can add buttercream in between the layers. Now I'm going to add more chocolate to the top of the cake, and this is where I felt like I may have messed up. When I patted the cake on the counter to take out some of the air bubbles and let some of the chocolate go to the bottom, I may have cracked the chocolate. Next time I might skip that step of putting it in the freezer and see how that works. Into the freezer this goes. Now it has come out of the freezer and it is time to take it out of this mold. And this was a very difficult process. Once I got the sides out, it was able to come out smoothly. Then I realized that I did end up cracking the top of the cake. But not to worry, I'm going to use this cake stencil and then I'm going to use this light blue shimmer to add some shimmer to the top of the cake to try to cover up that crack. This is an optional step. You do not have to add this shimmer to the cake. I'm going to do this on all four sides of the cake. I could have used buttercream to frost this cake, but I wanted to try something different with the chocolate. It's always difficult coming up with a design for a man's cake, so when I saw this stencil, I was like, this will definitely go with this cake design. Now it's time to move on to fondant pieces. I definitely like working with fondant, but only to make pieces. One day I'll get to the place where I can decorate a whole cake with fondant. So now I'm going to use these letter stamps that I got from Amazon to cut out the word dad. They're pretty easy to use. You just push down, twist, and then release with the button. I will link all the tools that I use down below. I'm just going to do the same step until I have enough letters for all the way around the cake and enough letters to play with just in case I mess up. When I say mess up, sometimes the tool can make the letters come out a little bit weird. And when I push out some of the extra fondant, it may mess up the letters. Now I'm going to place the letters on top of the cake and on the sides of the cake. Now I'm going to place a spatula underneath the cake so that I can move the cake onto a cake board because I did forget to add a cake board to the cake. Now I'm going to add tools to the cake, and I melted some white chocolate and added it to this mold to make these tools. Off camera, I used silver luster dust to paint these tools silver, and then I'm going to add them to the cake. I just put the tools all around the cake and they were so cute. Little hammers, little screwdrivers. I definitely loved it. It was so cute. A couple years ago, I brought my husband a similar cake, so it is so exciting that I'm able to make the cake myself this time. I firmly believe if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Who would have thought me, been a baker? Wow. Yep, that's me. And that's it. The cake is done. I'm going to box it and place it in the refrigerator for my husband. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.